Hey Scorpios, I hope you guys are doing great. We are here to do your Mercury in retrograde reading where we're going to take a peek at the energies that are going to be surrounding you over the next few weeks. We'll look at things that you need to be mindful of, any shifts that happen, and what this retrograde is going to bring for you. So we're going to jump right in and start by looking at an oracle card to see what overall energy is surrounding this reading for you. And the first one that we have out is Full Moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. So something that you've been dealing with, I think, for a pretty extended period of time, Scorpio, is going to come to a conclusion. You're going to get the answers that you're looking for. It's going to allow you to put whatever the situation was in the past, and it's going to allow you to move on to your next chapter. I do feel like whatever this is has been a bit of a stumbling block where you have sort of felt like, I can't move on, I can't move forward until I figure this piece out. So this seems that it was a pretty big blockage in your life in terms of moving forward, but that's going to come to an end. You're going to get the answers that you need to be able to deal with this and sort of put it in your rearview mirror. So let's jump into some tarot and see what else Mercury retrograde has in store for you. So starting out, we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So this is a bit of imbalance, and we also have the Magician clarifying. So I almost feel as though, there was some sort of seeking of equal give and take in the past. And I do feel like this has to do with either a relationship, and I don't necessarily know that it's a romantic relationship. I feel like it has something to do with business or more practical matters, but it feels as though there is going to be a little bit of a transformation that's happening for you over this time period. There's going to be a shift where, there was this sense of not having this reciprocity, things not being fair. And it almost feels as though throughout this process of trying to figure out how to navigate through this situation, you have picked up a lot of little lessons along the way. And so with the Magician, we have this person who has like literally every tool in his toolbox, right? We have the cups, we have the wands, we have the swords, we have the pentacles, right? So they are sort of picking up all of these skills, all of this knowledge along their way, along their journey, and they're using it to transform. They're using it to sort of change their circumstances. And I almost feel like it's created a little bit of a shift in perspective as well. Now, something that can come up that's potentially disruptive, in this situation over the next few weeks, we have the High Priestess in reverse, and we also have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So to me, I think one of the challenges that you might encounter, Scorpio, is you not sort of using your intuition. It's almost as if throughout this process, there have been little red flags that have been sort of screaming at you when it comes to your interaction with this other person or your engagement in this business venture or whatever it is that it might be. That there are things that didn't necessarily feel comfortable for you, but you sort of push them to the side in order to keep going, to keep moving forward. I think almost hoping for the best. But I feel as though as time goes on, as you start looking at these lessons that you've picked up, that there's going to be a dialing back of energy, that you are going to start distancing yourself, whereas you may have been sort of bolstering this person, or you may have been sort of shouldering the load for whatever this was. You're going to stop doing that. You're going to stop offering yourself so much. And I feel like that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable for you because you're so accustomed to being that go-to person. You're so accustomed to being that very stable person. And I feel like dialing back your energy is going to be a little bit challenging for you, but it's going to be that I think that you're going to come to that point where you truly start following your intuition. You start trusting yourself in knowing what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. I do feel like you ignored that a bit for the sake of, for the sake of trying to create balance or some sense of calm in all of this. Now, a big shift that's going to be happening for you, we have the Seven of Swords. This is my sneak card. This is my deceit card. So I think that you are going to see that somebody that you've been dealing with is not necessarily on the up and up. They don't have your best interest at heart. It feels very much like this is a card of someone using you. Someone who is trying to take advantage of your generosity, of your kindness, of your skill set, all of that good stuff. And we have the Princess of Wands in reverse. So it feels like your sort of temperature towards this other person, towards the situation is going to cool off. And I just heard game, recognize game. So I think that you're going to come into an awareness that this situation absolutely does not serve you and in fact could be potentially harmful. And I think that you are going to start seeing things quite differently. Where you were excited before, all of these little bumps, all of these little lessons that you've been experiencing, this imbalance, it's going to sort of culminate in this awareness that someone is not being authentic. They're not being truthful. And I think that you are going to start recognizing that they have not been acting in your best interest, that they have not been serving your highest good. So something to be mindful of, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, which is an interesting energy. And we also have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So the Eight of Cups, when it's upright, is typically someone who's walking away from something and walking towards something else. And the Queen of Swords is someone who is not afraid to use their voice, who is not afraid to speak up, to be firm, to be very assertive. And so I feel like Spirit is saying that this situation has lingered, I think, because you have been a little bit reluctant to speak up and advocate for yourself and sort of be brave in terms of walking away and towards something else. So I feel like Spirit is saying to you right now to be very mindful of not taking those steps. Not taking those steps to move away from this person, this situation, this nasty energy, and not speaking up for yourself when you're feeling some type of way. Because remember what we saw up here in the challenge was that you're not necessarily listening to your intuition. That the red flags that you may have experienced have gone, I don't want to say unnoticed, but you haven't acted on them. You've sort of let them ride. So I feel like Spirit is saying, please be careful when you do that. There's nothing wrong with you speaking up for yourself. There's nothing wrong with you being your own best advocate. So, this is not, I think, the time for you to continue to be passive. If you want this situation to be put behind you, you're going to have to take a bit of action. You're going to have to take those steps forward. You're going to have to be your own champion here, Scorpio. Now, what's going to come out of this for you? We have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Foolish Man, and we also have the 8 of Swords. So what I feel, there's going to be a bit of a progression that occurs for you over this period of time. That there's going to be a little bit of a loss of what you perceive to be something that had the potential to be very stable. Because again, I think that the blinders are coming off for you. I think that you're growing very disenchanted with the way that things are right now. And while you may have been sort of stuck in your head, there's a sense that you're getting ready to take those steps forward. Right? Something that Spirit told you to be mindful of with the 8 of Cups in reverse, not leaving, not walking away, not moving forward to something else, something that's potentially better. I think that you're going to unstick yourself from this energy. And with the Foolish Man, you're going to take that leap to move forward. And you're going to leave this nasty person, this nasty energy in the past, and it's going to be done. I don't think that there's going to be any sort of, reconciling. There's no going back to reevaluate or how can we do things differently. I don't think that that's going to be the case here. I think that you are just absolutely going to see things for what they are, and you're going to move forward. And it's interesting. So for the last message from Spirit, this Oracle deck, the bottom, we have do something different. So whereas you might not have been speaking up for yourself before, it's like you're standing in your power now. You're saying, you know what, this is not working for me anymore. And I think that I am going to move in a different direction. So the final message that we have for you from Spirit is refine your attention. So I think that, again, this is you sort of getting out of your head and focusing on what it is that you want, making sure that you're checking in with yourself on how this situation, how this person is making you feel. And I think that whereas you've been sort of giving, not getting too much in return, but learning lessons along the way, I think that you are going to make a shift and start paying more attention to what this situation means for you and how it's been sort of blocking you from achieving your highest potential. I think that you are going to start focusing more on the lessons that you have learned throughout this process. And it's going to enable you to sort of step away from this and into something that's very different for you. You're going to start moving very differently based on these lessons, and it's like, energy flows where attention goes. So I think that you're going to start focusing more on yourself, these lessons, what your new path forward looks like. And all of this good energy is going to flow in that direction. So Scorpio, even though things seem a little bit rough right now, it feels as though things are going to be unveiled to you, and they're going to enable you to take these next steps so that you can put whatever this is to rest. You can leave it behind you and focus on all of the possibilities and potentials that still lay before you. So I'm going to leave it there, Scorpios. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that it resonated. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But in the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you huge hugs.